What is up, friendos, and welcome in. Happy Friday to everybody right here for leading off on the FantasyPros MLB channel. I was about to say YouTube channel, but no, we're live on Twitch, twitch.tv/FantasyPros. You can watch us Monday through Friday live as you are doing live right now. But all you YouTubers, we see you. We know what you're up to. If you want to come and hang live, do it. We would love to have you. Joe Pisapia back in the seat next week. We've got Joe Rico. We traded in our Joes for the week. Joe, how we doing, buddy?
It's been a fantastic week, man. This is really good getting to do shows with you consistently. Doing my job and Joe's job has been a lot of fun this past week. I'm looking forward to having him back, but it's been great getting to do shows with you all week, my friend.
I like that you say that. I'm not really looking forward to having Pisapia back. I know I appreciate you are. I don't know if the audience really is. The show didn't work out yesterday. I got some messages that people were like really excited that they got a little bit more Joe Rico. They're like, oh my God, thank God we don't have to have more Joe. I mean, at the end of the day, the worst thing that could happen would be to have more Joe Pisapia right now. Wait, what's that sound? What's that sound?
Oh, did somebody place an order? I think they did. Oh, I got some cannolis here, Joey Canoli.
Nothing but the best.
Brought some pieces here for you. I see Joe Rico. Oh, you look so beautiful. Thanks for giving me a vacation for a couple days. I love you, Joe.
My paisans, what's going on?
Paisans.
Hey,
Yeah,
I could tell.
Just do serious stereotypical things. I get to do this because they're here.
You know what I got right here, Donnie?
Hey, straight. I love it, baby. Thank you.
Why don't you really? Oh, we're gonna do a live cannoli review with Joe Pisapia.
Hey,
Here we go.
Stuff my cannoli in your mouth.
No, not me. Get out of here.
Come on.
This is a family show.
It's 9 in the morning. Go ahead.
All right, it's a family.
I want to see how much you can take
Eat one with
one
me.
time.
We're not gonna do the each sides one. So you make it.
The Lady and the Tramp with the
We're not
cannoli?
gonna do Lady and the
Here we
Tramp.
go.
All right, here we go.
Cheers. Oh, you want to get down?
We're gonna do a live cannoli report. I thought we weren't gonna get Joe Pisapia today, but we apparently are.
We all took the chocolate covered ones. I don't know what that says about it.
All right.
Cheers.
There we go.
Cheers to
All right.
Joe Rico and Michael Cali.
Cheers, boys.
So good.
That's bad radio.
It's a breakfast of champions. Right? That's what this is. Very
All right.
good.
Joe Pisapia. I don't have water in here.
That's all right. Peanuts, Cracker Jacks. Thanks for supporting Joe Rico as my fill-in this week. He's doing a phenomenal job. I watch a couple of the shows, not too many because I'm on vacation. But just want to say hello to everybody. I'll see you Monday. I love you all. We're going to go have some batting practice. We're going to try to find a field. We got a bucket of balls, and we're going to see where the day takes us. I don't know, but maybe some more content for the channel. We'll find out. We'll see. Bye, everybody. Love you.
And we found a tiara.
Yeah, we found his crown. Thank goodness. There's too many things on there. Don't scratch my glasses.
There you go.
He's the worst. All right, bye, everybody. Love you.
Have a good
Bye,
Friday.
boys.
That's a good cannoli.
That was a good cannoli. I just said that we wanted more Joe Rico and we got Joe Pisapia. What just happened? You guys set me up. That totally didn't know they were standing in my office next to me the whole time. But shout out to did you like that? Were you a little surprised there, Rico?
I saw you talking before we were going on. You were talking on mute, and I was thinking, okay, his kids asked him a question. Your wife's asking you a question. I didn't think it was Joey P, but there was something in the back of my head that thought something might be up. But that was fun. I didn't expect that.
I did. I also was not fully expecting that. But Joey P in the house.
Wait a minute. Is it a Kaisertrex day?
Oh God, I didn't even look. I've done 2 Kaisertrex reads.
All right, that's enough. Okay.
Yeah, I've done. I think we're good. That's Kaisertrex. Home for the cannoli. That's why these cannolis are so strong. Kaisertrex. No low C's for the cannolis. All right. Little chaos to start the show. Thank you guys for all hanging out. Special appearance, Joe Pisapia and the great cousin Donnie. We thought we would start you guys off with a little bit of fun. Obviously, the audio people probably not loving that quite as much because of the chaos there. Not a great idea, by the way, to eat a cannoli at the top of a show when you have no water or anything like that. Mr. Joe Rico, correct?
I'm Italian. It comes naturally to me eating cannoli, but you definitely need to wash it down with something. Go get an espresso.
Yeah. No, I don't drink coffee, but I do need some caffeine 100%.
Really?
All right. Yeah, no, I'm not a coffee guy. I don't do any of that stuff. I can't do it. But we can do all the baseball here for you guys. We got a ton of stuff here that will not include Mr. Joe Pisapia. We got bets. We got breakdowns. We've got some chaos in the baseball world we found out about. And I was out there hanging with a certain somebody. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to do here very shortly. But let's dig in. That cannoli was really good, by the way. Very, very phenomenal cannoli. Back at it. onto the baseball world. Tyler Soderstrom, 1 for 5, league-leading 9th home run yesterday against the White Sox. He does not stop. Hit it. Interesting, Roto World put this out there. It was a 3-2 slider that he crushed, like 104. I think really interesting about that too, and them mentioning that it was a slider is like his success on off-speed stuff so far this year. Like he's hitting everything across the board. I did a show with Bogman where we were really like going hard into the Tyler Soderstrom stuff. What do you think the line is on Soderstrom? Well, I did the question of Christian Walker or Tyler Soderstrom rest of season. Where would you go with that?
I think it would probably be, man, I hate to be like a prisoner of the moment, but it's probably Soderstrom just ever so slightly. I still really like Walker. We talked about that this week, but Soderstrom has just been brilliant. And it's something that I noticed yesterday. I was doing Sleeper in the Bus, and Justin and Paul, I forget which one of us pointed this out, but I think a lot of people will say, well, he's in a minor league ballpark. You know, he's going to be taking advantage of these minor league fences, and that's why he's having success, a la Vladdy Jr. a couple of years ago. But if you look at the split so far, 9 home games, Soderstrom has 2 home runs, and he's hitting $156. On the road, he has 7 home runs, and he's hitting .439. So he's not even like a minor league ballpark merchant. He's just legitimately a power stud, and I think, you know, if he hit 40 home runs this year, at this point, I don't think we should be surprised. It's mid-April. He's got 9 already. He could surpass 40 even.
I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment either. And this is coming from a very hardcore Christian Walker guy. Right now, it's kind of L City for me on that, you know, the capital L on the Welsh for Christian Walker. And I do believe, though, he's going to turn things around a lot in the hitting profile. I think outside of the strikeouts, those are up. Everything else looks pretty good. He's going to start pulling fly balls. He traditionally kind of starts slow. He's kind of streaky. I'm taking Soderstrom. I think Soderstrom, like my big point to it is he has such a good head start. And I think that profile, which is elite at this level, even when he comes down, I just don't think he's going to come back where another player like Christian Walker is going to just catch face and we're going to be like, oh yeah, this, you know, we should have had Walker the whole time. No, I think Soderstrom is going to be consistent all year long. And I'm not going to be surprised if he hits 30 homers. He's a third of the way there practically. That ballpark is beneficial. He's hitting the ball better. I think we got to be in hardcore on Tyler Soderstrom, and I made a good move on the rest of the season ranks on FantasyPros, and I'll do it again. I think there's going to be another move because I don't think I have Walker over him. But the more we looked into it and talked about it, I think I'm in. So that would be a question for the chat. Maybe we can even put up a poll if we want. Christian Walker, Tyler Soderstrom. Where are you guys at? I'm really curious at the level of first baseman for everybody for Soderstrom.
Where do you have him in the rankings, Welsh? You have him top 10?
I'd have to pull it up. I want to say I have him top, I want to say 11 or something like that, but I think he might deserve to be inside of it. Like Tristan Casas or him. Casas is struggling. So when you get in, it's not going to be Naylor. Naylor I'm going to have above him, but I think he's right below Naylor. And actually that might be where I ended up putting him in the ranks. So
that's fair.
Yeah, big soda. So let's see where you guys are at on him. Corbin freaking Carroll has been one of the best guys, bar none. WAR number, everything is telling us he's one of the best in the league, but we have been missing the stolen bases. We got that back yesterday. 3 stolen bases. Bags are coming back. The hitting profile is ridiculous. I was actually taking a look on Baseball Savant. You can look at the batting stance data they have, and you can see some of the changes. He's actually moved quite a bit forward in the plate, brought his feet in a little bit more, and that is allowing him to attack the ball with that big bat speed, and things are going crazy. So I think I had this trade thing that someone had brought to me of like, hey, would you trade Soto for Carroll? And I'm like, I actually think Carroll's the play. Dynasty and on redraft right now because I believe in him. The stolen bases just held him back, and then they pop back up. So I don't know if there's a ton to like go in on with Carroll outside of like maybe if you just weren't a believer. I don't know where you're at on him. Like, do you think Corbin Carroll, if you could get a Juan Soto or you could sell down, do you think that's the play on Carroll? Like, do you believe this new hitting version of him is going to stay?
Yeah, no, I think I came into the season with Carroll ranked ahead of Soto, and I'd still have to stick with that. I think with the shoulder, it just seems to have healed itself, which is, I don't know how legit that is necessarily. I thought that this was going to be something that eventually needed some kind of procedure, but he has a 20% barrel rate, almost a 60% hard hit rate. His average exit velocity is 95. For his career, it had been 89. The hardest hit ball he's ever hit in his career came this season at 115.8. I don't like that he's chasing more. If you look at his swing percentage, he's 37% this season, 27 for his career. Swinging strike rate was 7.5% last year. It's 13.8 this season. But everything else is fantastic. Like Corbin Carroll could easily be a 30-50 guy this season and win National League MVP. And it would surprise me.
We're also kind of moving into a territory where maybe he hits more homers than he steals bases, though. We don't know what direction that's going to go. It's really good to start seeing him steal some bases. I have some other cool news for you. I went out to the Arizona Diamondbacks facility yesterday. And the other day, Ketel Marte was here. And there was kind of a word, maybe from Ketel, the other day that obviously Torey Lovello was saying that he might not even back until like mid-May. They didn't think he'd be back early April. Maybe potentially Ketel had said himself that he would like to be back next week. Well, I go out there and I got some video, and if we can put that up, Callie, of him working. He looks good. This is Ketel. This is my video from yesterday. He was at short, which was getting people kind of worked up. He went between second and short, but he was out working. This is a little corner field they have at the Diamondbacks facility. He's running it out. You can see he's got the leg kind of wrapped up, but he's moving. Doesn't seem to be limping. The arm looks good. This was after he did a running session, and then it followed up with him doing a private hitting session. So one more here. They had the Pioneer League tryouts in the back, but Ketel looks solid, and we could take him at short. But then we had the collab of collabs of all time. Joe Rico, I present to you Ketel X Welsh, because me and Ketel, we rocked it out, baby. That's right. Straight from the show yesterday, me and Ketel. It's very bright. He was not constipated. I also, the eyes were getting me a little bit, but Diamondback hat up. Shout out to RotoWare. Me and Ketel rocking it out as two best friends do. And everyone's question in the world is this right there. Will we see a Where in the World are Ketel and Welsh this year? I don't know. It's a possibility. We could look into it if people wanted it. We had Where in the World were Welsh and Corbin Carroll. Well, Ketel and Welsh were hanging, just being best friends yesterday. It's a great picture, right? I mean, I'm not very photogenic, but it's a
fantastic picture. It's the coolest guy in Arizona, and Ketel Marte is there as well. So it's a really good shot.
It's my boy. I love Ketel so much. He's like one of my favorites. He was before Carroll was out there, but we took the picture at the facility, got some of that scoop video. I got you guys covered. All right, we can. My horrible smiling face can come off of there real quick, but just wanted to share with everybody a little bit of Ketel action, and people like that. People like that. Friend of the show. Yeah. Oh, this is a good point. Friend of me. If he's a friend of the show, that's not good. I got to tell you that Justin Steele just had surgery today, and he did thank everybody. So
brutal. Mayor's
what hating. Are you talking, Mayor? Oh, you must be behind. I think he's behind, and he's just seeing the segment with Joe. Oh, look at that. Oh, someone's negative. Oh, something isn't to his liking. Shut up, Mayor. Get out of here. All right, let's get back into it. Christopher Sanchez picked up his second victory of the season. 12 strikeouts over 7 innings against the Giants. We told somebody on a show, I think it was on Wednesday, do not get rid of Christopher Sanchez no matter what you do. Where do you think Sanchez is vaulted as far as value goes?
Top 15 or top 20 starting pitcher for me. There was an interesting article that Mayor and Worm went through yesterday on the cycle. It was ESPN did like an ace rankings, just going through all the aces in baseball, and they had Christopher Sanchez at like 11 or something like that. And it was Kylie McDaniel. ESPN can get kind of a bad reputation, but Kylie knows what he's talking about. When you start seeing that kind of thing, maybe he's closer to 10 than 15, but without a doubt, for me, he's a top 20 starting pitcher. No question.
Well, he was one of those guys that popped. We talked a bunch about this in the draft season, that some of the projections just had it right, even though it was an outlier. I think it was, I think it might've been ATC that had him as like a top 20 pitcher as far as WAR goes. The bat, or no, you know what? I think it was the bat, because I think I highlighted it with Cardi, but both of those systems had him way higher than he was being ranked. And he just seemed like it was an obvious pickup for him. I like the sustainability. Would you rather have, oh, that's too much. Would you rather have rest of season, Freddie Peralta or Chris Sanchez?
Chris Sanchez for me. I like Peralta, but Sanchez just seems to be on another level at this point. That changeup is one of the best pitches in baseball.
It is. And he added the cutter for more strikeouts. Shoto Imanaga or Chris Sanchez?
Sanchez. I've been a little bit out on Imanaga this year.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't think we need to necessarily run a poll for that, but the value's up. I think he's somewhere in that direction. By the way, the poll that we did before, 83% Soda Man. 83% over Walker. I mean,
Wow.
Recency and stuff like that, but I think we're all in. We're definitely all in on the Soda Man, and his valuation has just gone through the roof. Kumar Rocker recorded his first MLB victory. More importantly, 8 strikeouts he picked up. 3-run ball. He's still kind of in the streamy type of range. Is there any takeaways for Kumar Rocker? Is he in a circle of trust at all for you?
I had kind of given up after that Seattle start. This was definitely a positive, but there's still a lot in his profile that worries me. Stuff comes in a little bit below average. He's giving up a ton of hard contact, 11% barrel, 51 on the hard hit. The strikeout rate for the season is only 17%. The ERA is at 6.38, and a lot of the estimators are better, but they're not like drastically better. They're not bad. Like a 386 Sierra is all right, but I just don't know if he's quite ready to trust yet, especially for the majority of players in 10 and 12 team leagues. I play in a lot of deeper leagues. I'll speculate on him a little bit this weekend in like 15 teamers if you're playing in AL only for sure. But if you're in a 12 team standard size Yahoo or ESPN league, I just don't think I'm there yet.
It's pretty interesting because like he has to live off the slider. That was always his issue. The sinker and fastball, they're just not doing anything. They're getting hit really hard. They're not whiffing anybody. EVs are like 92, 93, batting average is high, but his slider is absolutely elite pitch and he throws it more than anybody. So he's kind of doing like the Hunter Green, but he just doesn't have a power fastball. So I'm really not sure how he's going to make it out of there. By the way, we found out the craziest story. Rico texts me and goes, dude, we were betting against Spider-Man. We found out the Patrick Corbin against bet we had. All we're trying to do for 2 days is bet against Patrick Corbin. He's going to get blown up, blah, blah, blah. Then he ends up looking like Cy Young. Well, it might have been performance enhancing because if we can show, AI has told us he turned into Spider-Man. He could hardly walk, we found out, because he was bit by a venomous spider before the game and apparently had new powers where you could throw sliders at any point and fastballs that Mike Trout wouldn't even swing at. He threw Mike Trout in his first at bat, a fastball down the freaking gut, and Trout just stared at it. But there was performance enhancing. He was bit by a spider. That's AI's version of what happened. I think that was probably pretty accurate. And it was his left hand too, which is actually impressive.
I don't even know anymore. Like the gods are just making fun of us at this point. I think it's hilarious. Like it's a venomous spider bite the day of a start. I mean, maybe that's why they were doing like the moving around with Molly and everything like that. But I don't even know how to analyze this. It's just ridiculous, Welsh.
That actually does make sense. That makes sense because he was supposed to pitch that other day, and then apparently the 19999 spider traveled through the Spider-Verse and it gave him powers. And I don't know, like if Patrick Corbin has the Corbin verse, that's 100% right. If Patrick Corbin has another one, I think we're going to have the new trend in baseball where guys are going to just be like, you know how like parents will have like chickenpox parties. They're just going to have like spider bite parties, and we're just going to have a bunch of superhumans. And we had Corbin Parker apparently. So we were going up against Spider-Man. The odds were always against us. A couple other things. Braves recalled Alex Verdugo from AAA. Brian De La Cruz sent down. Anything for you whatsoever on Verdugo?
NL only 15 teamers, maybe. Like NL only for sure, 15 teamers, maybe, but the majority of listeners can just ignore this, I think.
I'm pretty on that as well. And then Griffin Canning was awesome yesterday on the Cardinals. Struck out 8, 2-1 now, 3.43 ERA. Do you think Canning has moved up? I guess he was a little bit already out of like the streamer range, but has your level of confidence moved up in Canning as he's stacking up some of these strikeouts?
A little bit. I think he's fine as like a streamer if you see a good matchup, but a lot of the things we usually look for, they're not amazing necessarily. You know, double-digit walk rate, 53% hard hit against. His stuff is very pedestrian, 91 overall stuff plus. I don't know. I think if you see a good matchup, if he's facing a bottom 10 or 15 offense, you can think about streaming him, but I'm not running to the waiver wire to grab him.
Shout out to our people, by the way. We had a couple new subs. We hit a sub goal before we started up. MSILV with some numbers subscribed with Prime. We appreciate you doing it for free, getting the home run contest, a bunch of new follows. So shout out to you guys for getting us everywhere we need to be. Let's talk to some of the people. Hopefully Mike Mayer is okay with it. I know we should do a couple 5-minute check-in to see that he's good with segments. So I think he'll be good with this, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Lucius. Good afternoon. I just managed to trade Torque, Pepio, and Alvarado for Christian Walker and Hunter Brown. Did I do good? For context, I have Hoffman, and thanks to Welsh, I made sure I got Munoz. My boy. It's a 5x5 head-to-head OPS league. So you managed to trade. So you traded Torque, Pepio, and Alvarado to get Walker and Hunter Brown. That's how I'm reading that. Are you doing the same? Are you reading it that way?
I'm reading it that way. I would personally prefer the trio. Torkelson has been fantastic. I think that he can probably be something similar to what we saw a couple years ago, 30 homers, maybe 90 ribbies. I've always been a Pepio guy. Admittedly, it hasn't been a great start for him with the command. And Alvarado seems like he is locked in as the closer for now. The other side of that, Walker, we've talked about his concern. I like Hunter Brown a lot, but I think the trio is more appealing to me.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think in like a month, this could swing back to that side. Like you might have the two best players in the trade. So I'm cool with it from that perspective. But at the same time, like I think Torque is kind of leveled solid. Pepio is not like super far off from Hunter Brown, and you got the big closer. You know, I think it doesn't. I don't think it looks like a win right now, but it definitely could. It's a great question. Good guy Dolan. I was offered Wood and Sanchez for his Schwarber. I feel like I've been given a little too. I'm giving up a little too much thoughts. He has Carroll too. I'd be asking for too much if I asked for him instead. So Wood and Sanchez for Schwarber is an insanely stupid trade. We just talked about Sanchez being a top 15 to 20 pitcher. James Wood and Schwarber's values are pretty even right there. I actually probably, I mean, he's not going to accept Carroll, but I would ask for Carroll instead. I'm not doing that trade. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not sure I'm doing Wood for Schwarber. Just straight up.
Yeah.
Unless it's an OBP league.
That duo is pretty appealing. Wood, I mean, it's funny. I was worried about the launch angle stuff with Wood. The launch angle's gotten worse, but he's hitting the home run. So what do I know?
I don't know. By the way, did I tell you this? Someone just brought up torpedo pats. I think I said this on ITL. I went to another game after hanging with my very good friend Cattell Marte, and I went to the Royals and Royals and Mariners playing an extended spring training game, and a dude broke a bat, and every player went, "Oh!" like you got in trouble, and I'm like, "What are they doing?" He broke a torpedo bat, and they all they grabbed it and carried it over. They treated it like this baby, and they were all looking at it because he broke it, and they had to give him a normal bat. He did not get a hit after that, by the way, but I thought you guys would like that. It's going to probably be a thing long-term. J Pal, I got Nick Kurtz in a minor league spot, but most likely not for long. I have Alonso at first, Naylor at corner, and Torkelson at utility. Who rides the pine for Kurtz? It would be only Torque if someone's riding the pine, but you might have to go through some bumps with Kurtz. We shouldn't anoint Kurtz when someone was like, "Hey, I want to drop Naylor for Kurtz." No, don't do that. We don't know what this is going to look like. And there's some bumps in the roads with rookies. You want Kurtz if it clicks early. So I would probably let Kurtz ride some pine over Torque. I don't know, unless maybe it's a really good matchup for the A's and they're at home early on. It's Torque.
Yeah, I would, based on the way everybody's been talking about Kurtz, I would see, put him on the trade block in your league and see what the offers are. You might get a crazy offer. You might get offered Naylor for him straight up, or another top 100 type of player. You never know. You never know. He might come up to the bigs and hit 25 homers this year. He might be back in AAA in 3 weeks. You just never know. But this is the good time to sell a prospect.
The best time is usually before, and the valuations are crazy. I would love to know. I don't know if we asked this the other day. We just did so many shows, but especially to the YouTube audience, if you guys have seen some Nick Kurtz trades, put them in the comments. I would love to see what some Nick Kurtz trades are looking like some actual ones, because I know there's going to be some weird ones, but I have a feeling there are some insane ones, when we're talking about Naylor here. All right, a couple more, then we're going to get to some more news, and we'll pop back to a few. Is it time to drop Tovar? And then someone also said drop Tovar with Neto being activated.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that, dropping Tovar to activate Neto. I'm not a big Tovar guy, though, so that might be a little bit of a blind spot for me, but I prefer Neto.
Kyron Paris or Dylan Moore?
Neither, really, but I'd go Paris if I had to choose one.
Yeah, I would go Kyron Paris right here, but Dylan Moore's look good, very much early on. Let's do one more. I got Tolia Eugenio cleared through waivers. I need to scoop him up right. I have Tolia Eugenio cleared waivers. Peripherals look good. Crazy low BABIP. Last year's Suarez is close to Tolia's ceiling this year. That's a good way to put it. Would you drop Tolia for Eugenio? Eugenio's also, obviously struggled.
I would. I think there's going to be some ups and downs with Suarez, but I think if you just look at the preseason projections, they were still factoring in his Seattle numbers a little bit too much. So I don't know if he's going to get second half 2024 Suarez all the time. He might be a little bit streaky, but I think he's still probably a 30 home run guy or somewhere close to it. I don't really trust Toglia much.
Yeah, Tolia. The G is confusing. Yeah. No, we all want to say Toglia, but it is Tolia. I just remember buddy Dennis, who does signings, he had a signing with Tolia, and they talked about that in the very first signing. He was just like, yeah, the G's silent. So it's very interesting. But you know what? I'm going to put the G back on until you start hitting. You don't deserve the silent G right now when you're making me look bad. Rookie Lookie. Twins are promoting one of their top prospects, Luke Keeschel, 22-year-old second baseman. AAA this year, the start is fine. He's hitting 261, about 380 OBP. He's got a homer, bunch of stolen bases, great walk to strikeout ratio, 11-9, so close to not more walks and strikeouts, but really, really great hit tool. I would say this. I don't think he has a long-term sustainability. Anything can happen, of course. But in the short term, if you've got there's no one out there and you want to pick him up, I think from a fantasy value standpoint, he's one of the higher valued guys. We've had Vina. I'd rather have Keeschel long-term, but it's just because Willie Castro's banged up, Carlos Carrasco's banged up, Miranda went down and then he got banged up. Everybody's just hurt. Brooks Lee just got back. I just don't think there's long-term sustainability. So I'm not sure how hard I would be speculating. I don't know if you have anything to add on Keeschel.
Not really. I'll leave the prospect stuff to you.
Well, maybe this one, though. The Brewers are calling up Caleb Durbin Friday, and Caleb Durbin is a stolen base monster. There's some power in there. I don't know what the long-term outlook, again, I just don't know what that's going to look like, but he is a guy that I would speculate on. Ironically, I think I would actually speculate on Durbin over Keeschel right now, even though I've got Luke as a higher valued prospect. But you want stolen bases, you should look at Caleb Durbin. So that is what I'm letting you guys know. 3 up and 3 down. Riley Green went 3 for 5, drove in a pair of runs on Thursday. Why is this important? Because every human being was like, why is no one talking about Riley Green? He stinks. We got to be done with him. He had a 40-something% K percentage, finally had his big 3-hit game. I'm a little down on this in general. Do you have any positive takes off of him finally picking up some hits, even though it's been a really slow start? Anything on Riley Green for you?
It was a nice game. I'm still a bit worried. The strikeouts being where they are, 39% still, that's tough. That's tough to build around, especially when you're looking at some of the plate discipline metrics. He's swinging a lot more this season than he has previously. He's up to about 7% in that department. He's swinging more outside of the zone. He's making less contact in the zone. I feel a little bit worried about him still. I've got a lot of questions about him, and there's been a lot of talk about his struggles, at least in my DMs. I think that in a really shallow league, I'm not as married to him as I would have been even a month ago. I think if it's a 10-team league and there's a hot bat on the wire, I wouldn't mind moving on. That might be a hot take, but I'm kind of down on him right now.
Well, I'm kind of with you on that. And then we're going to pair this together. Mark Vientos hit his first homer of the year on Thursday in that win behind Griffin Canning. Both of those guys in major struggles that have had some big questions, finally have a good performance. But that is going to take us to this week's Chasing Challenges, brought to you by Microsoft. Just like athletes who push boundaries and redefine what's possible, business decision makers today are turning challenges into opportunities. Microsoft meets you where you are with tools and guidance to help you make an impact with safe, secure AI solutions. Whatever challenge you're facing, Microsoft empowers you with the expertise to say, bring it on. And in this segment, we are highlighting those underperformers. Riley Green and Mark Vientos are two prime examples of where the rubber meets the road in fantasy sometimes. There are so many players in this very early onset where all we've told you guys is be patient, don't overreact. We are starting to at least see the path where early overreaction is needing to make changes in the season. We're 3 weeks into the season. Things are becoming a little bit more reality. And with that come these players. Riley Green specifically has had a horrific bad start. As I said, over 40% strikeout rate. He gets some hits. Mark Vientos hitting under 160, gets his first homer. But is it enough for these guys to meet the challenge to bounce back in fantasy? Personally, both of these guys are on a shorter list where if I was in a 10 team, I probably am more comfortable moving on from them. Can they bounce back? Yes, both of them have extreme hard hit tools. Riley Green has also shown a really great ability for barreling, but the strikeout rates are really, really bad right now. And the question is going to come to you. Are they going to meet the challenge? Are they going to be a fantasy guy that you are willing to keep backing? That's it for this week's Chasing Challenges. Remember, Microsoft's AI solutions empower you to take bold steps and new ideas to help drive your business forward. With Microsoft as your trusted partner, you can navigate your journey with confidence, finding innovative solutions and reaching new possibilities. Visit Microsoft.com/challengers to learn more. All right, the rest, actually only one more on the 3-up. Eduardo Rodriguez struck out 9. He has been a strikeout monster this year against the Marlins. He gave up 3 runs. He's pretty inconsistent, though. Are you comfortable with him as just at least a streamer because of the strikeout potential?
Yeah, I think that you could probably roster him in 12 teamers. And, the matchup was really nice for him. So I was recommending him like all over the place the other day. But I don't know that he's somebody that I trust for all 32 starts. I think you kind of got to pick and choose your spots then a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. On the down, Taj Bradley, he was hit up 6 runs, 5 1/3 against the Yankees with a loss. Tanner Bybee gave up 6 runs and 5 2/3 in a loss to the Orioles. Jordan Hicks, also not super great, gave up 5 runs over 7 innings of work. Let me ask you this. Who are you more worried about, Taj Bradley or Tanner Bybee? I'm not asking you who is necessarily better, but your level of worry is higher with which one of those pitchers?
It might be a little bit higher with Bybee. Like there's been really nothing encouraging. Strikeouts are down, walks are up. He's giving up a 15% barrel rate. Stuff is way down. There's not a lot to really be encouraged by so far. He's kind of alternating between good and bad starts to this point. With Taj, I still think there's a lot more there. The strikeouts have been pretty solid. He's always been a little bit shaky with the command, 8% walk rate. Previously, he's at 10% this year. I think if I had to invest in one or the other, it would be probably Bradley.
I think that's it. I feel like it would have gone the other direction if people were answering that. I think the strikeout potential. I don't know. I'm really torn. I think it would be Bybee, but Bradley's really still interesting with the strikeout potential. But there's just been inconsistencies that I'm just not sure 100% buy. On the injury front, Grayson Rodriguez was scratched from his scheduled bullpen session on Thursday. I'm not feeling good about that. The investment was already really risky if you were going to have him mid-season. To me, that is at minimum probably 2 to 3 weeks more that's going to hold back, and obviously can equate to even worse things. You kind of agree?
Yeah, he's toast. Like you're not getting value out of him this year. I'm sorry. Like it's one of those situations where we're going to push this down the road, and then eventually he's going to have surgery. They're going to keep doing this for like a year, and then he's going to have surgery. That's what I think.
He's not a friend of the show, but friends of the shows have been in the hospital beds this week. DJ Hers was in there a couple days ago. Justin said, I think he's having it today or tomorrow. So, but Grayson not looking good. Mason Wynn set to begin a minor league rehab assignment with AAA today. Wyatt Langford was yesterday, and Pablo Lopez is scheduled to make a rehab start on Saturday. So to Zebby Matthews. They just don't want to give us any Zebby Matthews. Let's do a few more questions, and then we'll get to our bets and the home run board to see what they got. You guys are plowing in the questions today. Van Rod, Jacob Wilson or Suarez? I guess Eugenio Suarez. So power or contact?
Probably Wilson for me. I really like Jacob Wilson. If you're really in need of power, I don't mind going with Suarez, though. I think it's kind of team dependent.
This one kills me. When you ask, who are you most worried about? And then we mention half of someone's fantasy staff. Sorry. I know how that feels. Speaking of staff, with the K upside, thoughts on Dollander rest of season? I think I've been pretty transparent. I told you guys before he was called up. I know he's a Colorado Rockies pitcher, but I think his stuff and his talent is there. I think tonight is going to be a little bit of a nice challenge for him, but I think the K upside is going to be 6 to 7 strikeouts per night. I think he can maintain lower ERAs. I think he is actually a Colorado Rockies pitcher to hold on to, but you got to be careful.
Yeah. I kind of want to see a little bit more first, but I don't have any problem with that either.
Will Jr. finish as a top 3 third baseman this year? So Ramirez would be 1. Then he would have to, and you got Devers, Riley, Machado at least. And then Jazz also. I think it'd be pretty tough.
It would be pretty hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, where does he come in right now?
Like you can't have him above Machado and Riley right now. So he's already not. I don't know if he's going to jump those guys. And you still have Jazz and Devers who could pop back up. So I don't think so.
To date, he's the third third baseman if you're looking at the player raters, but he's ahead of Riley. He's ahead of Jazz. He's ahead of Jose Ramirez right now. It doesn't seem likely to sustain. Do you think he'll be better than Bregman rest of season?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to still say no because I'm pretty big on Bregman right now in that ballpark, and it's still early. But maybe the possibilities are out there. Third base is pretty robust. Everybody but Vientos, unfortunately. Everybody but Vientos has been like really good. I feel bad for that. Ian Happ or Tyler O'Neill?
Probably Ian Happ. He's just so consistent every year. He never gets the due he's earned. And Tyler O'Neill, we know he's going to miss some time at some point.
Yeah, that's true. How long till Bubba is up? I would say the clock ticks next week as a possibility. It might be a week after. I think they might. I think the pitch count is about where we need to get it after this start, and then I think it could be any time after that. So I think the clock starts to tick if you want to stash maybe into this weekend. But I mean, I don't fully know. WrestleMania or baseball this weekend?
Always baseball. Oh,
yeah, I don't know enough about it. Joe would have said WrestleMania. We should have asked him about that, but Mayor would have hated that segment. But I don't know enough about wrestling. I don't know anyone that's wrestling. I don't know. I think John Cena, is he in it?
I don't know. Is Joe still around? Is he kicking around your house somewhere?
No, he might still be in my house. He might be causing chaos, but he's not in here anymore, so I don't know. So I don't know anything about it. It is baseball for us. It is all baseball. You do your WrestleMania with Joe P. I think there's a cool betting video on Betting Pros as well. Joe did for WrestleMania. So go and check that out. A little side plug there. Let's go and do, Joe, the best bets
of the day.
We earned it back because I had a nice 2-0 day. Joe, I think you were 1-2, but you were really good the day before. We were 2-0 on the bets. Andrew Palante, no strikeouts. You bet under 4.5, and we hit the run line in the first 5 with the A's. So we're back up on it a tiny bit. You guys want to make some bets of your own? Go and check out. Sorry, I'm doing this to you, Callie, but you'll go and check out FanDuel, FantasyPros.com/leading off. That you can use that offer of betting $5 to win $200 if your bet hits for new customers over on FanDuel. So what do you got for today? You've been just killing the player props. You've been loving that. So what's on your player prop card for today?
Yeah, I tend to go more heavy on the player props, and I got to shout out the Betting Pros prop bet cheat sheet, which you guys can check out. You can sort by different filters, different odds and everything. It lays everything out for the day. You get the nice graphic on the screen here. If you want to bet total bases, hits, home runs, whatever it is, you can find out what's the best value on the day. And Shohei Ohtani at plus money for bases is pretty much an auto for me. I don't really get it. It's up against Jacob deGrom, and I was the biggest Jacob deGrom fan probably in the world coming into the season. But I'll be the first to tell you that he has really not looked great so far. I think he will turn it around, but getting plus money on 2 bags for Ohtani feels like a safe bet to make. Josh Naylor, he's been absolutely on fire, Welsh. And getting him at the same number, plus 1.5, plus 105 for 1.5 total bases, also feels pretty good. Not a hard pitching matchup today with Colin Ray against him on the other side. So I'm going to lean into the hot streak. He's homered in, I believe, 3 consecutive games, and love me a Canadian and Josh Naylor. So we're going to take him there. And then the last one, Jackson Jobe. I don't really dig the strikeouts. He just doesn't really rack up the numbers. It's usually 2, 3, 4, somewhere in that range. He's going up against Kansas City today. They're a team that doesn't strike out a ton. I think last season they struck out less than any other team. This year they're about 21%. And I think, Joe may get to 3, but I don't really see him going 4 or 5 strikeouts here. I'm just not really impressed with his strikeout ability so far this year.
Wow. Okay. That's a bold undertake there. The Undertaker for WrestleMania. I like that.
Tommy Erickson.
I mean, I'm definitely with it. The Royals would be a tough team, and Joe's strikeouts have been weird, but I don't know. This also could be a Max Meyer one, but I like those bets in there. Okay. I was going to ask you just real quick, Jacob deGrom strikeouts are like 5.5. They're pretty low this week for a normal Jacob deGrom. There's no temptation if you think he's going to bounce back.
Against the Dodgers, I didn't look at that line. What's the number you're getting plus money?
I think it's 5.5. I think it's no, it's not plus money, but it's like 5.5. Last time I looked, it was like 5.5 minus 110. Pretty standard stuff. It's just the number is low. Like Cole Reagans is like 8 strikeouts today. So to go to 6 on him is a whole new thing.
Yeah, I think deGrom's going to bounce back. I don't mind that number, but against the Dodgers, I kind of want to see him get right first. Like, I am a little nervous. I heard something that Pollock was saying yesterday that he's locating his pitches really well, and he's just kind of getting unlucky. So I'm hoping that turns around today, but it's been rough. It's been very rough for Mr. deGrom.
I know, I hear you. I am going with a strikeout prop today, a big money play. The juice might be a little bit different right now, but JT Ginn, 4.5 strikeouts. He is going up against the Brewers today, who are a much higher strikeout team. JT Ginn had like a 15K per nine in his minor league starts. He hit this number in his first start, and that was against a much tougher strikeout team. So I really like the potentials of this. Ginn is pretty sneaky, good stuff, and you're getting massive plus money. So plus 130. Washington, first 5 money line. Back in Mackenzie Gore against the Rockies. Rockies against left-handers. A little bit of run support as well in favor of Washington. We're going just straight up first 5 money line. It's juiced up minus 140. I don't want to play the run line on it. And then let's go Friday with a little bit of a hits parlay, everybody. Let's have a little bit of fun. 3 players to get 1 hit for the day. We got Corbin Carroll. We've got Francisco Lindor and Austin Riley. All of them to register 1 hit. That bad boy is plus 120. And funny, dude, the props on Corbin Carroll, like total bases are 2.5. You can only do hits, runs, RBI at 2.5. He's been on base like crazy. I like him as our linchpin. I love Lindor's matchup, Riley as well. So all these guys that get 1 hit, you're getting a little bit of plus money at 120. Those are my bets. Those are Joe's bets. You guys can go over to Betting Pros if you want to follow us. We got the 7-day free trials as well. You can check out all the premium tools. So go and do that. Download it. Follow the boys. Have so much fun. Let's go look at the home run board. I did not get on the board yesterday. Arico, I don't think you did either. We're all still kind of holding. The board looks pretty similar to this week. We're all struggling. Wonky and I are still there. Dr. Glenn has moved up. Razor Ramon has moved up back into 5th place. Far Out and Marte in the lead at 12. So congratulations to you guys. I don't think Pia has any. So all is still right in the world. I know a couple people still talking about it, but my friends, you guys can still enter the home run contest with the premium Discord, or if you just connect your Amazon Prime account and get a sub here, you're golden. Mayor set that up where you guys can just do the home run contest, have so much fun, get rid of ads here. Arico, where are you going today on your home run call?
Going a little off the beaten path with Nathaniel Lowe in Colorado. I like what he's done so far this season. We've seen him hit 3 home runs. He's got essentially a career high barrel rate. It was higher in the COVID season, but 11.4% this year, 47 on the hard hit. Really, it's going up into Colorado against a young pitcher, and I like his chances to go yard today. A plus 850 if you're interested in the betting market.
Oh, okay. That's a really, really like those odds. I'm going with Fernando. It's a little over 2.5. Fernando Tatis Jr. going up against the Astros, but going up against, I want to call this guy Rusty, because Rusty Gusto would be the greatest name of all time, but it's not Rusty. It's Ryan Gusto for the Astros. This is going to be in Houston. I really like that matchup. So I am going to go with Fernando Tatis for my home run call. Let's see if we can do 1 or 2 more, and then we're going to get out of there. Should I start Rasmussen today against the Yankees?
I would. I love him. I'm a big Rasmussen fan.
I do too. The offense kind of worries all of us, I think. But yeah. I would. Treinen or Urseg?
Oh man, probably Urseg. We're talking saves plus holds league. We're talking just saves. Just saves. I don't think either one of them is that valuable, but I think I'd go with Urseg.
Speculative. Start just one: Job Wisniewski or Shane Smith. That'd be Wisniewski for me.
Wisniewski for me as well. Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys had some fun with the guest appearance of Donnie and Joe and the chaos of this. I'm going to eat this thing after, I guess, of the cannolis and the fun. We're trying to have a little bit of fun here on Friday. Hopefully we helped you out with some news on the Cattell front, got you some good fantasy info, and set you up for a fantastic weekend of fantasy baseball. The YouTube channel is stock full of great stuff. We've had our trade and waiver wire video. There should be 3 videos out there of the cycle. Even though Mayor's been very rude this show, I will still plug their great content on the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel, youtube.com/FantasyPros MLB. That is going to help you guys rock through the week. And Joe Pisapia is back on Monday. He will take over the host chair. I can breathe a little bit more. Arico, you did a fantastic job as always. We love you, brother. Arico's going to be back for one show next week because I will be out for one. So for Joe Arico, you amazing audience, I'm the Welsh, and we will talk to you next time right here on Leading Off Fantasy Pros MLB. And a shout out to Callie. Callie did great today. I threw a lot on Callie today too.
I'm going to miss leading off. I'll be back, everybody. I'll be back like the Terminator.
Well, I ate this cannoli.
Oh, I wish I was there, man. I wish I had a cannoli right now.
Oh, it's so good. It's so messy though.
Oh, authentic Italian cuisine out in the desert.
Mm-hmm.